Sorry.
Pow, pow.
I that's a very selfish introduction, PGL.
A little bit.
Look at all these guns.
Look.
We made 100 guns into letters.
All these guns. Well, welcome back again to the PGL PUBG Invitational. I am Porosaurus with our very big, very thick, with 2 C's, War Desk. Well, we are about to head into Game 2. While the players are loading into lobby, you can see them kind of behind us, all running around the military island, not shooting each other, which is probably my favorite addition since
yeah, it's a different build.
for
Still have
forever.
guns out there.
Yeah, I know. I love that. I hated the guns everywhere. Well,
I hate
We
guns
like
too.
fun.
I
don't
know.
like fun.
Look, you can have
Poro hates
fun
fun.
without.
I bet you you're the guy when someone posted up on Reddit saying, I want to have a shooting range so I can practice my guns. You're like, no.
If there's anything,
Wait until you're in the environment.
If there's anything that this
All-
cardigan says is that I hate fun.
Literally, all I do is ride around the map doing backflips on motorcycles
That's what
and then complaining about my ranking. But we are about to go into Game 2. So a fantastic Game 1. We had FaZe coming in first, nearly doubling, I think we said, their kills from yesterday. I mean, that's a pretty dominating performance. Do we think they're going to keep it up? Yes, Snake, of all.
Snake went from
Snake.
5 to 10. They exactly doubled.
So,
Good work, Snake.
You know, we have our new leaderboards up. You can see now Vitality in first, Grubby in second, but FaZe jumping up to 3rd place, pushing Ghost down to 4th. Kingwin in 5th, and Tainted Minds now moving up into 6th. So
Straya.
doing good.
That's
Do
right.
we have time? Do we have time for a long-winded reference?
A long-winded.
Did anyone see the movie It Follows, where the girl just follows them until it kills her? That's FaZe. That's FaZe in a
FaZe.
nutshell. They're just always
just
behind
hover.
you, and then all of a sudden you're dead.
Always hover handing.
It's starting to show really much this
Oh my
consistency because the placements, because of course they got 500 points, but the consistency of the placement is really important to see his face as well. They don't have that many kills yet. They don't have above 30 as everybody else in the top 4 does, but the placement is just so consistent.
They're creeping.
They're creeping.
The match is starting in 165 seconds.
Not too long.
Minutes. No,
165
165 minutes.
Minutes? Oh, yeah.
We got a couple of hours.
Yeah.
We got a couple hours
We got
to
some time
do
to
the
kill.
post.
I can now actually read the entire script of the movie I just mentioned. If you like.
Well, okay, so Tainted Minds now pushing themselves up into 6th. 2 teams that we were talking about kind of keeping our eyes on early in the day. E United now all the way in last place with 6 kills
They're
to
actually
their name.
They're the only team with it. So the only I don't want to point this out, but this is obvious. The 2 North American teams
Oh, of course he's gonna point
qualified
it out.
Wow.
is the only
Scoob, is that
teams
you?
with
No.
single-digit kills. Oh, but you find it out as well.
Leave it.
I really hope
Leave
for
it.
United they're gonna turn the boat because I actually have United in my top 6.
We've seen this in the past
For the
where
event.
like big online teams who come out of nowhere and then have great online performances, get to their first LAN, and the LAN nerves just kill them.
Yeah.
And that
Crumble under pressure.
yeah,
right?
it happens all the time. We saw it in Oakland. We've seen it in the past as well
Yeah.
with other teams in tournaments after that. But really, for E United, it's a complete departure from what we've seen from them in basically every other competition.
Yeah.
Similar with SSG, but these guys, this is their first major LAN tournament, so
Yeah.
we can't hold it against them. And it's also the first game of day 2. There's always time to turn it around. We saw the same thing with LG.
Yeah.
I would say GOL, but I think they ended up in last place as the last tournament as
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah.
Not only that, it's just basically 5 games out of 16.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Yeah,
They're not
yeah,
even
exactly.
halfway there.
But we say that until all of a sudden it's the end of day 4 and they haven't done anything. But essentially, we all hope to see them turn it around.
100%. Yeah.
Are you destroying our very tense storyline that we're building up right now? These guys at the
These
top
guys-
3, can they hold on to it? Is this even possible?
But a team
No.
that hasn't really been on Interland before and are coming in just like you were saying, but a team that's dealing with it, Tainted Minds.
Yeah.
I got to represent a little bit for
Yeah,
Australia.
that's true.
They are coming in and
All right, the other end of that is beginner's luck. So take the mind.
Oh my goodness!
Okay.
We got 2 NA representatives, 2 EU
Well, look, I'm not
representatives,
gonna
and of
leave-
all things, 2 Straya representatives.
I don't really believe Tainted Minds too much, but I think maybe it's beginner's luck, or maybe they're finding we're going to hesitate a little bit instead of giving into the hesitation. Let's get loose.
I think
and
they've
they
also
are
been very
loose.
lucky
They are-
with their circles. Like they've been very, very lucky
Wow.
with their circle
Who?
positioning. I'm all for being
Turn in your
biased,
passport.
but
Turn in your passport.
What were we saying?
I already have. I got a
Who's
British
been lucky?
passport now.
Who's been lucky?
Who's been
Tainted-
lucky with the
you're saying
circle?
Tainted Minds?
Tainted Minds. I think Tainted Minds have actually been really lucky with their circle positioning.
The 2
Um,
second places,
yeah.
they got kind of gifted
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
circles,
The
2 or
best,
3. Yeah.
the best decision Tainted Minds have made this week is to not jump Milta and not jump into Pachinki.
Yeah.
Like they actually go beyond this now into an area, and that's what the boys were saying before when they're on the panel. It's like, you just want to move to a place where not everyone is jumping.
Yeah.
Be dynamic, find those open positions, because that's where you're going to find your loot, and then they just make the best decisions they possibly can for movement. They went to the compound, you're like, this is a great compound. They now take it. This is what they're doing.
And I actually think they have one of the strongest positions on the map, which is completely open. They have
Yep.
Watertown, they have Rushock, they have school apartments, and they have the whole east side with the bend with cars.
Yeah.
So I have like 14. This is somewhere I used to drop or sometimes drop. They have like 14 car spawns, and they can take all the high priority buildings. They can do one guy in school, one guy apartment, and one guy Rushock, and then one guy of the east and taking securing the cars.
There's only one problem with that area, is that it takes so long to loot.
No,
Right?
that's why I'm saying take the high priority buildings. So take all the tier 2 and tier 3 buildings. Don't go for the small flat top, the grandmas, all these smaller contested areas. And then
You saying grandmas aren't armed?
grandmas.
It's not. It's
so
not.
the-
You know, this is in Europe.
This is
only in
I'm sorry,
Erangel is grandmas are not armed in Erangel. If it was Miramar in where it was Mexico,
Yeah,
or
exactly. They all have guns.
they all have guns, yeah.
I think there's a lot of profiling going on right now that we should
Maybe
move
just a
away
little
from.
bit. Okay, so I do have one question I wanted to ask you guys. So since we have a little bit of time, it seems like to while we're getting our game squared away. Right now, OGN Entis and MVP 7th and 8th in the standings right now. Very, very sneakily performing quite well. What is it about these two teams that you think? I mean, obviously they were performing fairly well in past lands, but not this well.
They're learning.
They're learning.
Yeah, I think so.
They're like Skynet. Like they're slowly coming online.
It's
The nukes
okay.
are now pointed. It's like
40
honestly,
years later,
seriously,
Terminator.
Exactly. Like we see this all the time in games. The Koreans slowly start to learn whatever it is that the meta is becoming, and they master it slowly.
This is the power you have that comes from the infrastructure that's developed for both Korea as well as for China. They have such great organizations behind them. Like when they're like, okay, we're going to go into this game, they'll start off and the players will have no idea. It's like, well, this isn't StarCraft. What the hell am I playing? Like, you'll then go in and go, okay, let's focus on this. Let's work it all out. And they get really good really quickly.
Yeah.
I used to really underestimate Korean teams, especially backcasting in that game we're not going to talk about. But it's this thing where it's like, they looked so terrible, like beyond terrible. Like pub game levels were better, and then a year later, you don't recognize them. They can come on and they'll easily compete in the top 6 at the biggest events in the world.
They're super fast adapters.
Yeah, it's adapters, but it's the infrastructure. It's the fact that you can hire coaches, you can have focused team houses, you work
Analysts,
on the synergy,
everything.
and these teams will want to stay together because for them, they see it as a career. They focus on it as that, and this is what propels them forward. They're very professional from the beginning.
Entis has 8 people here. Like they bring them all with them. They have people sitting there watching the VODs with them. They take it extremely
MVP too.
seriously.
MVP too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, they will throw whatever resources needed at it to make it a success.
One of the point one thing out. When we had a phase here and we had Vitality, we had also Tended Minds, they were all making it sound so easy because they are so good at the game.
Right.
But when it comes to the overall idea of how to play PUBG professionally, it's way more complicated than just go here and that's it.
Yeah.
It's just there's a lot of small details that come into it, rotation of the other teams, timings, drops, and the practice that you put into your own drop to be efficient with what you do in the beginning of the game. So players might seem to be making and kind of downplay themselves because they seem to make it easy, but it's actually really complicated.
Yep.
Well, guys, it looks like we are about to get into game in about 20 seconds. So is there any final thoughts that you had going into game 2?
No more military circles.
No more military circles?
Yeah,
military.
I like
Zarki circle.
Yeah,
please.
maybe
Zarki circle. Well, I mean, we got to.
I'm sorry.
close.
I want my
Pretty close.
swampland on the west.
Yes.
All right, swampland on the west.
That's true.
Never forget.
We haven't had
Shrek
any
Toby
southwestern circles just yet.
We haven't. We're waiting for
nothing-
Groovy to
or
not, be
Gatka
able to not
Fields.
move for once.
That's true. Well, guys, we are about to head into game. Casters, have a good time. We'll see you at the end of game 2.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, look, maybe now everyone's going to jump over the top of Starboard because that's where the plane's going. So northeast to southwest, and SST, they're already out. They're actually out so early. I'm wondering if that's actually them thinking that they'll loot around here and then move slowly to Severny.
Well, that top end of the map isn't too bad for jumping out around Kameshki, maybe Stalber, grabbing the vehicles, doing all the trash compounds on the way to Severny, but they have got a lot of time and space. They are spread out a little bit, maybe just scouting to see where everybody's going. And I think they might be maybe splitting between Severny and Stalber, but
It's possible.
We'll see what they end up doing. But
It's
for
an
the rest
efficient
of-
split so far. Like,
Yeah.
like no one has gone north of Pollyanna. No one has gone north of Pollyanna ever. So by them doing this, like they know they're going to get away with it.
We see sometimes FaZe when they have a lead in a tournament that they'll start changing up their drop strategy, and the Kameshki split, something they did in Korea, is something that they kind of go back to. So looks like Sun Sister is going to land at Stalber. I'm seeing no parachute on Sabrak there, so he's going to stay in Stalber. The rest of his squad moving towards Severity. Nice even split for everybody else, however. FaZe headed to Milta. Hey, look who it is. It's United once again. Tony V is going to beat FaZe. They're going to beat them to the ground. So I'm not sure. There is a vehicle there that he can take from them. So I'm not sure. That might be trouble for FaZe.
Yeah, actually interested to watch like how the other battles go, because you've already got LGD and FaZe jumping on top of each other. The shots are coming out from LGD, so they've already managed to find some weapons to try and just mess around.
Wow. LGD is not giving it up. There's
okay, come on. All right, SKS.
All right,
Iron Sight SKS.
All right.
I think you got to aim up a little bit more for that.
I think it's extremely difficult. Oh, no! I called it, man.
Oh, the matters, and now Fistum.
The BM.
Oh, just wait. Where's the teabag with it too? No, it doesn't come. But FaZe hacks it.
Oh, there's another
Yempty. Now Gempty. Well, at least he's found a car, but wait for the prop. No, I thought he was going to try and ram him. Just wait to launch the bike into the middle of nowhere.
And then everybody explodes. That's not good for anybody. So that is that beating FaZe to the ground there. We saw Tony V just a little bit ahead. Just grabbed him, and we're headed back north.
Yeah, we're headed north. We're also going to head east. I'm probably more excited for this circle than I was the last one, because this will allow us to play a lot of the hills and that big ravine to the southeast of Severny. It's this wonderful long-range kind of battle. But once again, the team I wanted to watch a lot today, which was Groovy, just how well they work. I'm wondering if they move a little bit quicker, because this is the opposite side of the map for them. They're the team that gets hurt probably the most from this.
Yeah, and really for Groovy, this is going to be another situation where they're transitioning through an absolute minefield of teams. Kingwin, Entis, Ghost, Snake, all are going to wind up in that western portion of the circle, and even for teams like TM who are around the Rozhok area may wind up coming into a choke point situation. So really it's going to be a long transition for a lot of these southern teams.
Yeah, this is just like, is it worthwhile? Like that small little hillside that's just above that eastern bridge next to Rozhok, like, is it worth camping that up? Is it worth Tainted Minds actually just establishing a base and trying to pick off everyone? Because that's what we saw with Groovy, trying to punish a lot of teams moving into the circle. Is there anywhere in this circle which you kind of want to say a team should lock this down?
Well, you can hang out just to the north of Rozhok. There's that land bridge. There's, well, 2 bridges there that can be used. You can hold on to the ridge just above that if you're Tainted Minds, but it leaves you exposed, and it's not something we see a lot. Really, most of the choke points will occur around that Georgia Bowl area. Team Secret looting around. It looks like they're near farms, so they're gonna have a tough transition too, actually, if you think about it. So.
At least it's nicer for them this time, because they don't have everyone shifting west and moving over the top of them, because that's kind of where like Team Secret overlapped a little bit in game 1 with some of the other squads, and they lost that early player. They can at least keep a 4-man lineup this time around.
I'm interested to see where TSM is headed. They've already started their transition. Looks like it's going to be Vis and Smack together in a vehicle headed towards the larger compound just to the southwest of Stalber. I believe that's where they're going to end up stopping. So TSM looking for a spot in the center of the map early here. Depending if they want to get a little further away from there or end up stopping there. Who knows where they're going, but they are choosing to center early and leaving Break and Rari behind.
Do they take the mountaintop retreat just to the east of the warehouse? Like, there's a really, really nice group of buildings that got added in. Like, it was a while ago, but it wasn't in the original map.
They're going to straight up center, I think. They're just going to find the centermost compound and take it, and they are going to have the time and space to do that.
You get so much vision from those buildings, too. Like, it's very difficult for anyone to creep up on those buildings.
So TSM choosing to stay separated here in the early game. They are, I think they're going to have a decent spot here, but now it's going to be up to Rari and Break to rejoin them a little bit later.
Yeah, Vis is pulling in, so they're gonna hold up there. The rest of FaZe, what a surprise! Still looting down in the southeast corner.
Well, you heard Fuzz himself say it. They don't really care what the circle does. They just do what they want to do and show up late, whatever.
Like, yeah,
they don't rush.
If we're late, we're late. If we're early, we're early. They'll still have to run the eastern coast. That's where they've always gone. They've always gone out past Lipovka. And with LGD taking over Lipovka, like, waiting actually helps them.
LGD will leave before they do, I think. That's something that we've seen from them throughout this tournament. United, same thing there. They've already taken out 1, so FaZe is at the disadvantage so far. But they are going to adapt, as they say, and that's something FaZe is very good at.
You are on the move with their vehicles all heading closer towards Pollyanna. TSM also coming in through the side. How's I say, are they going to take the main road in? Like, Geist right now, I don't know if he's going to pass that, like, put your finger on your nose and walk the straight line test.
It's actually Jimmer driving. Geist is just holding on for dear life. So.
Okay.
So Jimmer doing the form up here.
That is Geist just saying, like, maybe I should have taken his keys away from him. Like,
Yeah.
why am I on the back of the death cart?
Maybe that's why they're doing so poorly. They've been doing the pre-game drinking.
Or you do the drinking game, like every kill we take, we get a shot.
Well, then they're stone sober.
Oh god, they've had 6 shots. They've had 6 shots. Like,
one for each of them. So
Yeah.
maybe for those guys, they're all hammered. But
yeah.
as far as that goes, for E United looking to turn it around, they are transitioning vehicles. They seem to have a clear path now. They might choose to take that warehouse area like you mentioned. But now Tainted Minds has arrived near TSM as well.
Wait,
so
they actually pushed over the warehouse?
yeah, they've come all the way up. So now it's a matter of these early transitions landing near each other.
Yeah, and they all push through. Tainted Minds on the way. Joshy, for some reason, is still back in the apartments. They've actually split themselves up now, Tainted Minds. SST, they've claimed Severny. So what we saw before with like FaZe just rotating up, it's not going to happen. LGD is making their way up. They may catch break on his movement, but unlikely. And Ghost just needs to get back in. Groovy doing the long run through. Kingwin is very late to get out of Georgia Pole, so they may actually bounce into each other.
We've seen this happen from Profi all the time, where he's the scouting player. He's going to try and get that center compound, but they've moved almost a little bit too late. He's driving right towards Tainted Minds, Snake, TSM, everybody. Profi does have a tendency to get picked off as a scout.
Subslayer's already set up there. He may not realize that there's already one there.
Ooh, luckily for him.
Warning shots will push him away. And it looks like TSM is actually still holding that compound further to the east. So we know at least where the Australians will pitch the flag. Okay, that's not a good place, Subsayer. You're very, very visible to TSM there.
I think TSM doesn't have a lot of windows pointed that direction, so they should have some time and space. But
looks like Break is getting caught out on the far eastern side too.
No break.
LGD was having a bit of a crack at him. They saw him from a very long way. As I said, caught out. LGD saw him from about 600 meters away, and then just 3 of them opened up.
So LGD, I think they were in mid-transition. Break is going all the way around Stallber. Going to come around by where Sabrak is from Star Sister. So for now, it's going to be Break. And I think Rari has rejoined nearby to his team across the way from the warehouse where TM is currently held up.
It's always crazy to see how late OMG leaves the military island. They spend
Well,
so much time there.
They're taking their time. So they will come in late, and they will be coming into Entis, Ghost, and everybody else who is now starting their later transitions.
They're doing the run through Groovy. Yeah, that's Ghost coming in, Entis. And like already managed to get 2 of the Entis players across the river. Across that bridge, but is anyone going to pitch the tent? That's a great choke point to try and hold.
It looks like Groovy might move across, but they might opt to just get into the play zone. But they're going to be moving right next to Ghost as well. There's going to be a huge jumble on that bridge pretty quickly here.
Josh is getting pounded at the moment, but he's managed to live and get far enough away. As Groovy, yep, there's your run.
Yeah, they've decided not to stop at all. They're just going to truck on through.
Well, so normally they play at the edge of the white, right? So it's. They may start to pull up on the hill and just in front of them.
Yeah, there's a nice spot there they can hold. That hill that they're driving underneath currently is a nice spot to hold on to. They can choose to do that. We see here Kingwin taking down D-Master, so that's another early casualty for Space Station.
Did I just see a car fly off the edge of the bridge?
That's very possible.
I'm fairly certain there was at least some kind of object that just fell off the edge.
Kingwin has been sneakily having a good tournament so far as well. They're currently 5th place, 28 kills. Good for, I think, definitely the top 4 for kills total. But they've just been having trouble transitioning into the end game. Not for any specific reason, but just kind of luck of the draw. Kingwin, a very talented team, but just having trouble converting on getting out of that very strong mid game they seem to be having.
Yeah, this appears to be a lot better, though. Like Miracu and Galaxy, they already know it's safe on the other side. Keep it together. They got 1 kill so far. Still another 60, well, 39 potential for them to claim, 38 potential for them to claim.
So Space Station having to veer off and go around the south side of the Georgia Pole Mountain. Entis Temeria still by himself, now making the late transition across the bridge. Meanwhile, the rest of his team are now engaging with Ghost. Turtle going down to Christus. So that is going to be some northern battles happening, and it's going to be Turtle being eliminated. So that's 1 down for Ghost. Profi, I didn't see where he wound up, but Balak and the rest of his squad are now coming nearby to where Sun Sister is.
And that overlap. Christus at least is able to get back into the cover, so Entis can't get an instant trade off, and Christus, well, it's time for a potential.
I think they'd held this compound last game as well.
Yeah. It's perfectly on the edge of the circle, so they can just wait and see what's going to happen. FaZe doing that long run around the northeast.
No one has come to Severny yet. I think they're assuming that it would be occupied.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, SST's been sitting there almost non-stop previously.
I think Sun Sister has the gas station. They might have heard me talking about how FaZe likes to transition up there. So it looks like Sun Sister will be holding on to the gas station. FaZe is making their rotation around the north end of Stalber, so they will be coming to a stop as well.
Oh, Team Secret having a couple of problems with Kingwin. The lines are very well crossed, so Papaya. Ooh. Oh, there's the shots finally coming out. Took a while to do it. He was too focused on trying to bring MPX back up.
MPX crash, or what happened to him?
I'm not certain if he must have crashed, because I don't think Kingwin were close enough to actually get the shot straight away.
So Vitality have come in as well. They're holding the gas station just to the west.
It's a three-seater. He 100% crashed.
Oh, yeah, 100%. That's Vitality coming in just at the gas station to the west of Yasnaya as well, and we will get almost all the water coming out, save for the lake in the south. So Tainted Minds once again finding themselves nearly centered in the Circle Snake as well.
I lose my dream of having a fight on the hillside of Stalber.
Not going to happen.
No, this is very much centered around very similarly the same area we had previously.
United is actually transitioning north towards where
FaZe is actually driving right directly into SST.
So we'll see if Sun Sister decides to try and reach out and touch FaZe there, but they're going to get above the hill. So now it's going to be up to FaZe to try and transition to a point where they feel is safe, but they are headed right towards TSM.
All right, so this is the time when you can take Severny Ghost, trying to light up SST as they're driving the beach side. They won't really have the greatest angle as you can dip into the sand.
That's Vard taking down Papaya as well off screen. So now it's going to be Larson finishing him, and FaZe has got right towards the small hill outside of Severny, with Yempty headed right into town. Sun Sister leaving the gas station, also headed into Severny. So we will see potentially Severny being contested here between FaZe and Sun Sister. Sun Sister having a relatively quiet tournament so far, maybe getting tangled up here in the early game.
Yeah, they can at least bunker in for the moment, as Team Secret having some real problems. It's the Kingwin west flank that was ripping them up, and there's more support still on the way, while EU and LGD, they're battling on the eastern side. So all action, all sides of the circle, middle, east, west, I don't know which side of the island you go to, everyone's contesting for position.
Kingwin will come in, and looks like Secret has taken a bunch of casualties here. Only a Fiend and one more remain. So Kingwin staying 4 strong, picking up a couple of early kills here in the game. I think they are responsible for all kills so far, save for Tony V taking down, I believe it was Haxetti. So now it's going to be United, well aware of LGD.
Yeah, they definitely are. LGD are just getting out of this one. They're getting back in their vehicles and wanting to drive. Vegas going to miss the shot.
Nothing to be done really for now. LGD jockeying in their vehicles, just trying to get away from the pressure.
Yep, they want to get around them. They know the circle is going to move once more, and they need to get into a more established position. Potentially they can push closer towards that compound to the north and hold that.
Tainted Minds and TSM are poking at each other. MVP, actually it's Break and
three-way.
Rari. Yeah, so Break and Rari are together now across from where Smack and Vis have taken the warehouse. So MVP is there, I believe, above the hill. Profi is, I guess all of Ghost must be, yeah, actually Profi is still by himself away from Balak and McCoy.
Oh, NPX. There's only 2 more of you left. Fiend and NPX, and he tries to hide the bullet holes coming from both sides. He knows there's nowhere really safe.
Wide peeking.
In the corner. So Entis is shooting him from one side, Vaz shooting from the other, but there's actually giving Entis a chance to shoot into Kingwin as well.
Kingwin has to, well, they've got the res now, so Gaxi will, ooh, that grenade took Vard for a spin. They're going to have to deal with, they're just going to have to deal with NPX and get away from this fire from Entis.
Yep. They can't blow up that building, unfortunately, for them, unless they can just slip the nade through the edge of the window. It's the only way it's going to work. And no, that's a smoke.
Oh,
it's a smoke. It's a smoke. Relax, Moses.
Error.
He knows what he's doing, but he is also completely surrounded. Yeah. And down will go NPX. Knocked out. Are they punching him?
Nope.
Oh.
They're bowling it. They're shooting him.
No,
they're bulleting, I believe is the word I was
We need
gonna
bullet
say.
conservation, please. They're an endangered species sometimes.
I like the. I'm glad that was a smoke grenade, because that I saw the stripe on the grenade and I was like, oh my God, he's dead.
You can't even deny the 20 points, right?
No,
Because he'd only
exactly.
knock himself. He wouldn't kill himself.
Yeah, no doubt. So
Unless he was able to drug. You couldn't drop 2 in time.
no, you can't do it. So Fiend is by himself now. Snake and Groovy. Groovy sneaking into a nice position. We saw this held by MVP in the last game. No effect there, but this is a nice spot. You got the ridge cover, you got the you got the vehicles there, and you got the yellow cabin. Snake not too far away, but nothing happening just yet. We are going to see another transition here very shortly.
Yeah, we're going to see who's really being pushed into new areas. You got those floating left at like, okay, well, we're just going to go straight back to where we were. It's Severny once more. And everyone will be pushed closer towards SST, Snake. Groovy will still be in a very nice position for themselves, like just on that southern end.
This looks good for TSM. If they can maintain pressure, they're actually jumping in the vehicles. This is where we've seen them get into trouble before. Looks
they
like
must be just joining their teammates for the
hopefully, yes, that would be a good move. But I was going to say they had the opportunity there to potentially hold MVP out of the zone, but it looks like Kingwin here leading
4 kills,
leading the board. That's almost a full team wipe. They did take one off of SSG as well. Well, that would be a full team wipe if they had killed all of Secret.
And the most injured team. Team Secret, with only Fiend left, total loss from GHG. Only casualty so far, but Monkey might be added to that list in just a second as he actually dies from falling.
Oh, no.
So
did he...
Denied.
Maybe took a tumble off the motorcycle.
Oh,
there it is.
MVP making the run. This really trying hard to connect, but just not able to connect.
They don't have the guns for it, I don't think.
Now I'm watching holographics and RDSs. Okay, well, there we go. He's got that.
Oh, it's United.
They're trying to make the run. Vis is connecting on with this. That's a nice long-range kind of fire.
United is on foot, no vehicles, running toward. We've seen this actually. This is almost a reversal of roles. We've seen TSM have trouble with this in the past, but they have really improved their positioning. And now, oh my God, MVP dove out of the vehicle the last second.
Yeah, they got out in time. It's LGD was there waiting for him. Problem is, MVP is still visible to TSM up on the hill, and then EU United pushing in from the east. They all are in the circle apart from EU, so no one's pressured to move again just yet.
This is actually not a bad spot for MVP, so I really do like the fact that they can hold the gas station out, but both are in the zone, so easy peasy, man, looking for that Car 98 shot. I don't think TSM will be able to get onto them just yet. But Shiv just knocked a Raxi with a vehicle as well. Vitality, get away from the vehicles, man.
What is going on here? There's definitely problems with movement.
Yeah, well, to be fair, the vehicle can hit you going like 1 kilometer an hour and knock you, so it's not hard to make those mistakes when you're trying to make precision movements. But TSM has reformed. They are all together.
It's going to create a great four-way kind of fight. MVP is in a ditch. EU is going to have to go up onto the hill.
Great shot.
At least they won't be in range of LGD when they make this move.
I would like to see, I don't know, LGD does not have incentive to get aggressive here, but for MVP, they might want to maybe start chucking those grenades, see if they can get any knocks.
Is EU actually going to get a good angle on them from up the hill?
I don't know. Well,
yeah, they are. They're taking fire right now from EU, so MVP is in trouble. TSM want to try and snake it through the side, but it is.
Oh, no.
Oh, Siege.
TSM, surprise. So Vis will finish off Geis. And Vega, yeah, I was going to say they're held out of the zone by 2 teams, essentially, but now LGD is aware of them as well.
Problematic, to say the least, for EU. But they were the ones that had to move in, but the casualty to make it very difficult to control this hill. And the second they go over this hill, TSM will wreck them, and they have to. They're still outside the circle there.
Yeah,
they do not have the cover. Their only advantage is the fact that TSM is occupied with MVP.
And really, they could easily easily divert their attention to EU, who now have no choice but to snake it in. So
crawl into the zone, and let's hope no one can see them on the edge.
The woes for EU United's rotations continue. This is very, very early in this game.
Yep. Life is hard for them. There's a little bit more of clustering around the shooting range with Kingwin and OMG and even SSG coming in behind them. So Kingwin have found themselves in a bit of a ditch. OMG are coming down the hill to look for him, but if they're not careful, they're going to get flanked from behind by SSG.
So SSG with only 3 up for now, they may be looking to avoid fights to stay strong through this mid-game.
I think they know. Lion is checking behind. But Kingwin's on the move. Kingwin's on the move. Lion gets just a glimpse of it.
Kingwin's staying 4 strong up there too, so that's nice for Kingwin.
Oh, crazy vehicle driving time. Team Secret.
And Entis.
Chasing after Entis as they try and move into Severny.
I like FaZe's position here. I think this is a... Oh, we have actually just seen 2 go down from Entis. That's Kingwin getting tangled up.
Oh, it's the crossover. Larson able to manage to get them and also get the pickup again.
Tamari is just desperately trying to get on the other side of the
He's
logs.
going to tick out so quickly.
And it looks like that was...
EU getting finished in a second.
Yeah, it looks like very close there. Ooh, and that's actually Entis going down in 15th as well. So I think that was United going out in last place. And I believe that was... was that Kingwin?
Yeah, that was Kingwin. that was a let's go.
Well, they're excited.
Yeah, and rightly so. That's a great rack up for the points. They're now able to control that northwestern side of Severny. Vis has now finished up the rest of EU, so they are taken out apart from Vega. Sorry.
I like it, and actually Severny's heating up now as well with Sun Sister getting on top of Snake. So that's
Vitality. Vitality having a crack on to Tainted Minds. They haven't really had that position contested just yet.
Yeah, we've seen
but they're going to walk right up the hill into them.
So with Tainted Minds, this is the second time they will tangle up with Vitality.
Yep.
TSM holding on nearby as well, but Groovy sneaking into the southern end of the play zone with OMG right behind.
That's actually really hard for Vitality to take that fight. Like, the only way they get in is by pushing through the southwest, because if they... And that then brings them into the gunfires of Groovy. So
Vegas is still up. Well, he was up for a second there.
Yep. That was... Yeah, short-lived moment. TSM are just having a field day up here.
Yeah, they got a great spot.
They've actually only got 4 kills total so far. Well, I thought they would claim more from this position.
I think they've had a couple of downs that haven't been finished just yet, but they can... Oh, Rari picking it up with the long-range shot there. Vis with that 4X AK. The slow-moving bullet will still strike if no one's moving. Easy peasy man is currently stationary, so... See if they can finish this off, but LGD really having a tough time dealing with these open positions.
Yeah, they keep getting caught on the edge of the circle. The bright side is they've at least got some deflate to work with, but this movement, SSG still a little bit further north of them. It's kind of hilarious while all this is going on, like MVP finally getting back into the mix and actually chasing down LGD. They're getting out of the range of TSM a little bit. Actually, no, they can't. They're still stuck. There's no clear way to get around the corner.
No, there's nothing. They'll have to use either utility or wait for the circle to force TSM out of this circle, or sorry, out of the houses, rather.
Okay, that's just a cruel drop. Smack bang between LGD FaZe and MVP.
Come get it.
Is, yeah, who wants it?
I don't think anybody at this stage are also concerned. FaZe has a great spot. They're in the low ground. They have a little bit of cover, and the circle's about to shift. So we will see what has to happen for TSM, who are already moving.
Yeah, they're coming
going
down
for MVP.
They want to deal with them really, really quick. That's a lot of kills to actually claim. They've already claimed 4. They'd love to make it 8.
Good aggression.
And then that allows them to come around the back of LGD. And MVP won't be really ready for this. They've been knocked so many times that getting them up is going to be really, really difficult too.
They have to be very quick here. So you have
it's not even a vest on Pang. Oh, the grenade! he cooked it!
He dropped it. He's right on top of himself.
Bang!
Bang.
Yeah.
So that's actually Vis's grenade dealing with that. Now it's going to be O10 going down Vis, and the rest of his squad looking to clear at MVP, but they have to be wary of LGD hanging out nearby as well. Smack will go down.
Oh, yeah.
The flank is there.
Be careful from that side shot. Besiege trying to be that one man to hold the line. He's taking fire from his right as well as his front and his left, all sides.
Full team wipe for TSM.
Yep. But now TSM also have to get themselves up. Like, they're in the same position MVP was in.
Oh, man. Smoke a little bit too late, but that's all right. That's a 4-for-1 situation for TSM. LGD already scrambling to move as it looks like
that three-way fight coming up to Tainted Minds, OMG, Vitality. They're all rushing up towards the hangar. There's going to be a huge fight from all sides. The question is, like, actually Vitality is in a little bit more defilade unless Joshy gets a glimpse for half a second.
He didn't look.
He didn't. If he does, Shiv may have a crack at him, but they're going to push up. It's all audio now. Josh, you should be hearing those footsteps. And yeah, you can see him already prepping the grenades.
I'm not sure if he's just trying to smoke out the back or if he's trying to throw grenades.
I think he's trying to actually grenade down the hill towards OMG, but Vitality had them perfectly surrounded. So the second Tainted Minds leave here, they're going to get gunned down.
So this is the issue. Oh, they're actually using a vehicle.
Oh, this is going to be no! It's the worst possible decision. They just wanted to bail out, get the 2 men to secure the front position, but they lose both Benchu and Subslayer.
That's very, very tough for Tainted Minds, who now realize they've been trapped in this warehouse. However, OMG is now entering the fray. They can hear the gunshots as well. So OMG, listening to what's happening with Vitality, they know someone's outside.
The circle's pushing. They have to go.
They have to do something. It's moving slow enough they can make a decision. They have time to make a decision, but they have to move.
Are they going to try and grenade through the roof? LGD's having some more problems. TSM is finally able to get behind them. So this getting more on the accounts. They're smoking and running. Shiv is not a healthy man, sitting on the side. Silent will stop that first aid kit from being used, and now he just wants to secure the kill. Able to do so, but there's the help.
Flank. Nice flank from Meraxi, really nice. Still that's 2 down. OMG could do something here, and there's another vehicle coming out of the warehouse. Tainted Mind's eliminated, but Vitality on the ropes as well. OMG looking to finish them off. Araxi the last man standing.
And this kill count's getting better. Garubi trying to get involved from the side. We kind of forgot about them. They were the ones that wanted to try and pick off everybody as they were rotating down from that hill.
It looks like Vitality may have been eliminated. I'm not seeing any more green skulls or any green icons on the map, but that's it for OMG as well as FaZe finishes them off. So now TSM has moved all the way onto LGD. Oh my gosh.
Yep, right on top of him. Buganino looking around the corners. They're all so low. They need time to med. One grenade. He starts to cook it. He cooks it, and then the dot's around the corner. Throws out the head. No!
Oh, he got Rory. He got Rory as well.
He got Rory, but Break finished him off pretty quickly too. So it's pickup time. Who's more in need right now?
It looks like it's going to be Rory getting a res first. That was so narrowly disastrous for TSM, but that's another team wipe. A bunch of kills coming here for them. But TSM is very on the ropes now as well, because that's 2 downs, I believe, for both of their team members.
Yeah, they've had a lot of knocks, not as much as you've seen from MVP and LGD, mainly because TSM were fighting from that position of power. But now FaZe, they're on the edge of town. They're under the fire of Snake. You've even got a roaming SST Sabrak, who's been pretty close as well.
Kingwin is held up in the 3-story. They've got good vision up there. But if this circle shifts out of Severity, it's going to be a big disaster for everybody coming out. So FaZe was holding a nice ridge, but I do like Kingwin's position as well.
So Garubi need to push in from the southeast. SST getting inside the circle, getting inside the building, so they're also...
Oh, FaZe is holding out Garubi outside the zone.
Yeah, this is problematic at least, because they're getting hit by both Snake as well as FaZe. Maybe they even start to push towards the side and up towards TSM's position.
So Garubi has managed to get a little bit closer to FaZe, maybe within some distance to start throwing a utility to block their vision, but Inactive and Pokemolodoy have been held out at long distance, and FaZe is very, very, I suppose, confident in running out of flank here, but Mixie has to be concerned about everyone in Severity as well. Yeah,
the second they look out there, he's going to get gunned down. Looks like Garubi. Snake finally connecting.
And that's the second down for Inactive. He probably won't be able to be saved here, so that might be 1 down for Garubi here.
Yeah, he's ticking out way too fast. They just let him go. So 3 down for Garubi. They've only got 2 kills again. Garubi just not getting enough of the action on this map as like they had on day 1.
No, and they've been cautious to come in safely, but they have not been able to pick up those edge kills that they had yesterday. So for FaZe, staying 3 strong, having lost a player in the early game, have done well to take a nice position. TSM still in the midst of rezzing teammates. Looks like FaZe and GR are both putting pressure onto them.
TSM, somehow they have to get out of this one. Well, there goes Vis. They can take his meds, they can take whatever else useful stuff he's got, but looks like it's going to be smokes to push in a little bit further. They're still not inside that circle. And FaZe are enjoying the defilade for the moment until Shade. He's managed to get really, really close. Well, if it's close enough to strike, he'll mean he'll have to expose himself to both Snake as well as SST. Not to mention Kingwin, who's still sitting up at the top of that 3-story. Looking pretty and no.
Big nade. So that takes down both Pokemolodoy and Pija. They're going to have to go for the Resi or Shade.
Can they get him? Can they get him in time? The circle's done so much damage. Yeah, okay. The circle constricted and he just started taking more. So play zone will claim 20 points.
Really? I meant maybe the fall damage did the most there. I'm surprised that FaZe didn't get credit there. TSM taking shots from Snake. It looks like they're going to have a lot of issues getting into this next zone. So TSM, 1 left standing. Rory there, almost in the top 5, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to make it unless Rory can get in on his own.
Severny must empty. The circle is pushed towards the east. Everyone must come out at some point. This actually gets FaZe into the better position as long as they can find a safe spot towards the north, or that one remaining player of TSM.
They can't leave yet because Groovy is there waiting for them, so they're going to have to deal with Groovy before they decide to move north into the next play zone. Looks like Yempty looking back behind, trying to maintain that vision. Fuzzface also concerned. All the arrows pointed that way. They know they're up there, but they just don't know where exactly. Having 4 total kills and 3 men standing, they don't have great gear either. So for FaZe, they have to decide whether they want to clear out behind them before they move, or risk having Groovy shoot them in the back.
They can't go up there. They can't go up there.
Yeah, they can't because they'll silhouette themselves to everybody in Severny. So.
Exactly. Like at this point, it's the game of patience for FaZe. They must wait it out. They let Groovy have their little battles, keep the attention of Snake over there, and when the circle starts to do that constrict, start to move slowly, because here comes that circle.
And here comes Pija as well.
Yeah.
TSM has been finished going out in the 6th, and now that's Snake actually dealing with
Shade.
Ruby. Shade.
He's so low.
And he's eliminated. 6 kills now for FaZe.
So FaZe are in a great position. There's no one to their northeast just
is
yet,
there a
but here
vehicle
comes
push?
the vehicle trying to drive right into the middle of them. Okay. Balls on that man. A steal.
So Mixie is down, and the rest of Snake are coming out, but the play zone is there. Now SST has the flank, and that is Snake eliminated.
Wait,
all
they
of a sudden,
actually hit Mixie with the car?
maybe, yeah, maybe the ghost car hit him. SST going down now, and now Kingwin is coming out of nowhere. SST has no ability to transition without any fire coming right onto them.
Yep, that is very problematic. And
Ooh,
now
Kingwin.
it's this early movement that came from Miracu. It's got FaZe pinned down on the back of the hill, and they just push over, and that's it. What a great movement from Kingwin. They saw the fact the circle was pulling everyone out. They flanked up hard with Miracu, and they assaulted that hill flawlessly.
16 kills, almost out of nowhere for Kingwin. They had an excellent end game. They managed that 3-story building, really like that positioning from them, and they absolutely executed exactly where the way they wanted to. So FaZe taking another 2nd place, but that's got to be a bit of a heartbreak for them as they look to be in great position there.
Man, that's a terrific performance right there for Kingwin. Ends a lot faster than probably everyone thought it was going to, but just pulling it together. Great presence of mind for the circle. It looked like FaZe was going to be good, but there was just too many players that were blocking him down.
Yeah, that was a really nice game, and looks like Larson's going to come on over here right away so we can have an opportunity to talk to him. So that's joining us now. Larson looks like, so I'm not sure if we're going to start talking right away, but
yeah. Can we put the mics?
We got Slacks here too.
Let's put the mics on.
He's got the good mic.
I can't hear anything.
Yes.
Here we go. Here we go.
Hello.
Hello.
Congratulations. Woo. You guys needed that win, huh?
We did need that win. Like, we've been making it to top 8, 2 times in the top 7, and we've been so close to closing it out, but we did it this time around.
So talk to us a little bit about that, man. That was an insane end. The whole match was madness, right, boys? Am I crazy here? What was it like?
It was great. We were super fucked when the circle shifted into Severny. And I actually had to leave 2 of my teammates behind going into Severny because they were getting shot from above, and I was like, okay, I know where it's clear in Severny. I see other people going for it. So I'm just like, screw you guys, I'm going. I can't save you.
If I'm not mistaken, you were the person to wipe an entire team on your own, right?
And then you was in front of us, and I saw them driving. That's why I went. My teammate got knocked instantly and managed to win me 4 into Sace, which was kind of lucky.
Nice.
But
What were you yelling a bit there? I'm pretty sure. I think the stream heard that.
I don't know. That was me.
Can you imitate? Can you imitate that feeling again for the stream? What did you yell? No. Oh, that's very super well played.
I just said, woohoo.
Yes, very calm, very calm.
16 kills.
Yeah.
2 kills from making any record. Very good. Well played.
That's 820 points.
Yeah.
I was
That's
sold
disgusting.
because I have an awesome community, and they said I was 580 points away from first place. So, if I'm not mistaken, we should be first place. So that's
Well, it depends with
It
the
depends,
base
yeah.
points and
That is
and
true,
Groovy
that is
as well.
true.
So
You're in
We'll
your
find out.
Actually,
second.
second.
There
15
you go.
points.
Second,
There you go.
There you go.
15 points separate you.
Yeah.
FaZe now in first place, Groovy being displaced. So that is FaZe Clan.
Okay, we're
coming
close.
from
But
behind.
first
15
place in
points.
kills.
And Kingren with 44 kills.
Yeah,
44
that's
kills.
us. We like to kill
Up.
people.
We like to kill.
We don't
yeah,
usually win
perfect.
games, so we shoot at things.
We actually made a really good decision when it comes to the last circle.
Yeah.
Because
Stadium.
everyone was in Severny, right? So
Yeah.
when you split, you had the gatekeep on the teams that kind of were pushing away them towards south, towards FaZe in this case. I don't know if that was a conscious decision to like push away the teams towards south, but that was actually really insane.
That was a great call. Like
I don't know. That's me. When you play the city endings, if you're slow, you lose.
yeah, exactly.
You just gotta
Get out ahead of them.
you just gotta not take a deep breath and just hope for the best and run
that's like
until
water,
you meet
right?
resistance. That's what we did. We literally just kept running until we saw someone and we got in a really good spot.
Yeah.
And then the last circle helped us out a bit.
You had a really good window of opportunity because you had three teams pushing phase at the same time.
Yeah.
TSM got killed, and you had the whole north for yourself. You just had the best window of opportunity, pushing everybody in, and you were 4 guys alive in the end as well.
As soon as we saw the circle, we smoked the road and just ran all the way there.
Well played, man.
Well, fantastic game, man. You guys are real serial killers. That was some disturbing shit there. So, back to you, my friend. Return to your murder den. And I'm pretty sure we're going to see another kill separating those guys and getting them in first. I mean,
15 points is that's as narrow as you can get. That is less than 1 kill separating them. So that's been an incredible comeback. We saw Kingwin holding on to that 5th place finish, and we talked about it in the pre-show, how they just needed to put one good game together, and here they are now 2nd place, right behind FaZe.
Exactly 25% of the server.
Yeah.
So that's actually insane, right?
Yeah.
16 people, that's 4 teams. Full 4 teams, where Larson actually picked up 1 on his own.
Yeah, no doubt. That was an incredible performance, really against Entis as well. Where I think that's where Larson was yelling is when they team wiped Entis there at the very beginning. They held on to Severny for almost that entire match.
Hey, let's talk a little bit about TSM, because they pulled a lot of weight in this game.
Yeah.
They didn't
sure
finish.
did.
Yeah.
I think they didn't finish like top 5.
So
They
they
got
got 11 kills.
Yeah, they got 11 kills. They got 5th.
Actually
They-
finished 3rd.
They
third.
finished
third.
they
Oh, that's
finished
the 3rd.
6th. Or
How the hell
Wait,
that
is that
happened?
right?
No, yeah, because of points.
can't be right.
They got.
Because-
They
oh,
got.
yeah, right,
They
points
got.
wise,
They
points
got.
they
wise.
went out,
yeah.
I think, 6th place.
Well, 11
but,
kills.
6, yeah.
11 kills coming out of TSM, which we haven't seen them frag out like that all tournament long.
They had a lot of pressure in the northeastern side, but they killed 2.5 teams.
Well,
there
they
by
made the
themselves.
choice to push MVP. That's
Yeah.
something we almost never see from them, where they're just like, let's go four
Yeah.
on 4. They went at MVP, having knocked them twice already, knowing they were weak. They had the choice to do so, and they did it. And LGD picked them a little bit as well. But I mean, that's the type of decision making that I'd really like to keep seeing from FaZe.
Yeah.
We actually
Or, sorry,
see it
yeah,
on the map
And
right
that's
now.
that's the new TSM
Yeah,
style.
this is
so-
actually the moment when they kind of ran into LGD. They were forced to fight. LGD
Yeah.
was kind of gatekeeping them from coming into this circle, and they just committed to the fight and played it extremely well. And that's got to be a good sign for TSM moving forward.
Let's talk a little bit also
there goes-
about Grubby, because
Thank you,
they
Slash.
finished
Thank you.
6th.
That's
There
what the
goes
chicken
right
dinner
down
was.
the road.
it's all right.
You have to be from the north side to from the northwestern side to the northeastern side. You have to. It's gotta be. Here we go. Yeah, like this.
There
Yeah,
it
they
is.
so Kingwin crossed the road like this.
That was a good.
See, the chicken is smarter than
Should have
everybody
been a
else.
penguin. Yeah.
Right there.
It's
Yeah,
the
the way
murder.
the Kingwin's set up here,
Yeah.
they have this nice 3-story building. They have the low stack next to them. So all they have to do is just kind of get out here towards FaZe.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they did at the end of the game. But it was really exactly. So the chicken comes out. They have this nice flank here, and the rest of Kingwin held on the road right there, and that was just a perfect pinch for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only problem is that here, this entire area, this is completely flat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you go too early, you're gonna get wrecked by someone who's still in the buildings. But if they time it correctly and they're gonna be still in between, when those teams are pushing towards, like wherever actually,
Yeah.
then Kingwin will have the initiative to start team fights and be like in a third-party member actually
There
when
we
it comes
go.
to team
Yeah.
fights.
So this is the end, actually, what we're looking at here. If we can get an overview shot of the map, you can already see it's Miracu and Larson coming out left. And with the chicken, we will put them here. So having this line of sight that Miracu and Larson wind up with, they can watch this wacky vehicle push from Snake that they just like decided to jump in a car and try and run down FaZe. But having FaZe being distracted, it gives them that time and space to come out this way.
This madman.
Yeah, this is
Oh my
insanity.
God.
I think that the ghost car
Yeah,
actually
it was a
ended
ghost
up
car
hit-
that
That actually, I think that by them doing that, it kind of screwed FaZe.
Yeah,
Well,
did
yeah,
in
no,
the
because
end,
they had all this pressure
Yeah,
coming
they had
that
pressure
way, right?
all the
So
time.
they had all that pressure coming towards them. FaZe had to deal with it, and then Sun
And
Sister
then the
gets
fire.
split up. Kingwin deals with it, and all of a sudden, just like that, the game
Yeah.
ends.
One
Yeah.
more thing, Sun
Sun
Sister
Sister-
took the Severny in
Yeah.
second circle. That
Yeah,
was a
they-
very good move.
They
by
were
them.
there for the whole game, but they just
They only
mismanaged
picked
the
up
end.
1 kill from holding that position, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Look
unfortunate.
at that. Like
well, we
Kingwin
do.
just slaughters everybody. Look at all the skulls.
Look at
Merry
him.
Christmas.
Look at him. Well, let's go
Presents
real quick.
everywhere.
We have
That's-
some
that's why you wear the
replays
hat.
to take a look at from this last map. Let's see what we got, guys. So we have. Oh, look
Oh.
at.
That's just sad.
Poor
Oh,
hacks.
the BM.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, let's
That
okay.
could
Well, let's
have
talk about
cost
that.
them the game. That
It's
could have
not-
cost them the game. That could have cost them the game. Seriously.
They made it all the way to the end there, with 3 plays. That's something that I think displays how good FaZe really is that you know you lose a player that early on, but they still just kept with that same play style. They never really let it affect them, and they made it all the way to the end, holding that strong position just to the southeast of Severny. So I can't knock that.
No.
And we have seen Vitality with some zone.
This was the last moment.
That's insane. And insane wipe. It's not even a car kill. It's not. It's not like if you don't blow a car.
2 angles.
He 1v4'd 2 angles.
Yeah, that's pretty insane.
Insane plays.
And look at this. This was absolute madness.
Hey.
Absolute madness.
How are you?
Oh man,
You feel bad. You feel bad.
I feel bad.
You have to feel bad for
that underhand throw. I literally thought he was going to kill 2 people.
Yeah, me too, man.
I literally thought he was going to kill 2 people.
He only got Rari because it was Break came around the other side, but that was actually a really clutch play from Break there as well. I mean, they very, very easily could have lost that.
Oh my gosh, lining
look
up.
Look at this firing range.
And that got a ball instantly almost. That was Snake is getting wiped, and then there's Mirky finishing the game.
Sunsister actually overcommitted to that because that left the window of opportunity to Kinguin. So Sunsister committed to being the last team coming out of Severny. That made the whole window of opportunity to Kinguin just crossing the road, just getting into that position where they were alone on the north side and they could just shoot everybody else. They got like 6 kills. They
had a lot of time and space. I think I don't really blame Sunsister for that. When you see like a whole squad running out to your right, you're like, oh, they're right there. Like, and then
you kind of have to focus on that.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh. Well, we're looking at maps from yesterday. Hold on.
Oh, I just hit the first button.
Those are good memories.
Remember
Memory maps.
Remember when everybody died?
Do you remember children, the murder? But man, what a great situation for those guys too. I mean, sometimes in this game you see guys that don't really do a lot get to the end. They're just murdering all game.
Yeah,
they get that perfect position and that's what I love to see.
That's what I mean. Kinguin is a super talented team. They just they just have this weird kind of hitch in the mid game where they're so active. They get so focused on killing everybody that they maybe take 1 or 2 extra casualties and they just can't quite translate that into mid game or late game success. But that kind of play, I mean, that really shows how skilled they really are.
Especially if you see Kinguin having 4 or 3 guys in the end game. You always see them fragging out.
Right,
absolutely.
But they're mid game. They're hard. If they get hard shifted, if they get away from the zone too long, if they have to move on foot, they get too committed to the kills.
Right.
Because they focus too much on staying in a choke point. So when you saw them up here as well in the first game, where they were west of Severny, where everybody came there, they stayed there because they wanted the kills. They are a fragging team. Also, when they go to places like the Kinguin dip, they go there to kill people.
So I
that's
believe
the
it was Groovy with 37 kills at the end of yesterday, right?
Yeah, correct.
So they've picked up 3 so far through 2 games.
Yeah. The first game was 0 kills with less placement.
Yeah.
So now they got...
They're 3rd now overall.
Yeah.
Well, they're finding themselves losing players very, very early.
Yeah, it's the circles too. Like, I mean, look how far they have to go, right?
It's the worst circles for them. They had a northwest and they had a northeast, and then it both converged to the middle, and they got choke pointed out. So.
Honestly, I was very surprised that SST, when they had the occasion to kind of gatekeep FaZe, they didn't do that.
Well, FaZe comes up to this portion of Severny where they have that kind of dual hill, so you can kind of crash in there and just kind of chill without really having to do too much.
Yeah.
But Sunsister, I don't think we've shown them to be so aggressive at any point.
They're more passive, that's for sure. But at the same time, this is the first time we actually see them being higher in the bracket. So I wonder how will that affect the next games.
Well, they had the circle the whole game. So
yeah,
the
circle literally went on them.
But they made a good decision to just be.
Yeah, it's no fault of their own, but it's just that once you get that position, you have to manage it as well.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is that they got this great position, and maybe it just sucked. I don't know if they just didn't have the vision on it, but holding that position for as long as they did and only getting 1 kill off of it, netting only an additional 20 points.
Well, if you come through this game, like they have this nice spread, like they could hold maybe a corner point of Severny on either side, but by the end of the game, there was 5 teams in Severny with them.
Yeah.
So where's the pressure? Where's the pressure?
The hole?
They didn't push them. They didn't. They let everybody come in passively. But they were also.
Let's bring it up forward a little.
Yeah.
They were also. They were also in a position where they could be really greedy.
Look at all these.
They
teams.
took all the good compounds, all the good. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you have Kinguin coming in from this north side. You have Snake coming in. I mean, they basically
Even
allowed all these teams to come in and take
I mean, they have an angle onto Snake here, but they
allowed everybody coming in.
You can see how Kinguin does it. Like they come from north to south.
Yep.
and they just clear out everything that comes across. And then for Kinguin, they managed to then ride that essentially to a victory.
Yeah. Now we did talk about really briefly. Avenger and I were talking during the game. This particular position held by FaZe is so strong, and it was actually kind of surprising. Had it not been for that just absolutely nutty motorcycle push into
three
them.
teams coming across
Ruby,
at them.
Snake, Sun Sister, just everybody pushing them. And even with the spoiler on TSM, because they shot at them as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you see TSM took 2 casualties from it, so they laid down a bit, but it put pressure on them so long for such a long time.
Yeah.
They were worried of like 270 degrees.
I mean, we were talking. We saw them. They paid no attention to what was going on over here. They were completely focused in on Grubby because that's where the threat was.
Well,
right?
think of it this way: they have 1, 2, 3 teams of 3 or more pressuring them, and they still came in second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they managed that spot as best as they could. Well, even with TSM poking away a little bit over here as well. I mean, you have all these teams pressuring you. Managing position, something we just mentioned, is something that FaZe is masterful at. They will manage that spot as best they can, but ultimately,
that grenade.
Two car kills prevent them from winning. One at the end game and one at the beginning.
Yeah. This is one of the best spots in the near Severny because it allows you to be
covered from both sides.
practically unscathed from 2 directions completely if you don't overpeak, right? So you can take fights on the south, you can take fights on the north without with being covered from west and east.
Yeah.
When it comes to TSM, they couldn't really shoot at them, and then Kinguin punished Rory from TSM by just I don't think like one tap or something. Like that.
The 3 story here in where Kinguin had, they actually knocked 2 guys from TSM, and then Snake wiped them up. So the topography of the map, there's not enough riches for them to be safe here.
They can't do anything.
No, they can't really do anything.
They were on like that high side of the hill, and they have to come down and they're right into cover or without any cover. And eventually, Rory gets taken out by I believe one of Snake's players.
Yeah, right. And I don't know. I mean, they could potentially stay here and just snake it, because they had to move as well. But still, you want to be in a position where you want to put pressure on FaZe because they know FaZe is here. They're outside the zone. TSM is closer, but they just got third-partied by Kinguin and then getting 2 knocks there.
This is the situation where Larsen will just have the position to take out Rory, and that's something that I think Rory was cautious about. So he just didn't want to push into complete open when this is like the situation. Oh, this is the situation when he's getting.
He's getting shot. He's getting shot, so we had to move.
All these teams decided they wanted to go south. A lot of these guys like Kinguin, they pushed this gap. They decided they wanted to get on the low side of this gap.
Perfect window of opportunity.
But Sun Sister, if they decided to come this way, all of a sudden it's a 4v2. But they decided that they got a little too distracted with Snake next to them, and they missed their opportunity there.
Well, guys, that is going to do it for Game 2. We're going to take a quick commercial break before we come back for Game 3. Kinguin right now with the win in Game 2. So currently FaZe sitting in first place, Kinguin in second, Grubby in third, Vitality in fourth, and Ghost Gaming coming up in fifth. So we are going to come back very, very shortly. We'll see you soon.